it's great to see the special, see a screener of it, and kind of like get a chance to absorb it because I actually saw the first special you did with Bill Burr's Friends That Kill. I was like in the crowd for that.
What show were you at? The early or the late?
I think it was the early.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Very glad there was 2 of those.
Yeah.
7 o'clock for a taping is never a good idea.
You know, and it's always chaotic, even just to go to a regular show at that time, let alone a taping and all that.
They were not laughing.
Yeah.
Nobody, I don't know, maybe from where you were, but like from everybody on stage, every comic got off stage and was like, we bombed, we're not filming. Like, we all freaked out.
Yeah.
So I think all of us, except I think Joe Barnick was the only one to use his first set. I think everybody else used the second set for that taping.
Being it the first time that I saw you and your energy on stage, like what you brought, like I was totally, taken aback by it because I don't think I'd seen you before. That was 2 Netflixes a joke ago.
Yeah. It was wild. It was a while.
Yes. And so now it's like looking at, what you've been able to cultivate just not only in your comedy, but in your career. Like, what's that like to like look back and see the development?
It's very, it's nice because I've been doing this for 23 years. So I didn't before I even got that Burr thing, I had already been touring for years. I started when I was 17 years old. So it's been like a long journey. So it's nice to have these like big, I guess, what are they, like landmarks? Or what's the word I'm looking for? Like these big events that I can look back and be like, oh my God, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of like this. It's a slow and steady. Some people, have like bypassed and got big online and whatever. But I look back and I'm like, I'm so happy that this is how my career developed because I'm ready now. If I got this when I was like 20, I'd be bad. I wouldn't have like now because now I'm sure if you saw me on the Bill Burr thing, you're like, who's this? Because I don't know who the hell I was. And they went back and like, oh, this person has 3,000 videos we can go through. They have all these albums. Like, it's not like I came out of nowhere and I have nothing to back up like what I do.
Yeah, no, I definitely kind of found myself falling through the rabbit hole after that to be like, oh, like, who is this? Because you were in the scene in LA, like doing your thing already.
Yeah.
But it was just that first push off was kind of like, I think things kind of just changed,
They definitely did. Yeah, Bill Burr definitely had a big handle because he saw a clip of mine first online. He saw this, like, I'm walking here video, this, like, New York joke, stupid thing I did.
I'm walking here. Hey, I'm sliding over here. I found my favorite place over here. Maybe I'll go in and get a couple samples over here. I just pulled something in my neck from that last act out over here.
Yeah.
And he shared it. And then from that, it was like, he asked me to do a special.
I mean, and then what's it like getting in the vicinity of someone as big as that, who is just like a fan of what you do, and how do you handle it? And how do you kind of, create something that feels like, okay, this person obviously gets what I do, but like, how do I then like learn from this person and grow?
Well, at first it didn't feel real. Like when he DM'd me, I thought it was a joke account. I was like, okay, some fake Bill Burr account is saying I'm hilarious. And then after like meeting him, it's funny when you meet, I guess when you say your idols and they're so down to earth and chill, you're like, oh, okay, he's just a normal guy who finds me funny. So I think when you like meet someone and you realize how chill they are, that made it way cooler, not as like nerve wracking. But it was very refreshing to have someone that you look up to that is that funny, that is so well respected, also find you funny because, you guys don't see the hate that a lot of us see online, especially female comedians. All we get is trolled. This morning I deleted like 10 comments saying I'm ugly and I have a big nose. I'm like, yeah, I know. People like tell me like I don't know. I'm like, it's not small. Like, what the heck? I'm psychotic. But I was like, having someone like that find you funny doesn't like, it kind of makes everything feel much easier and better because I'm like, oh, who cares if someone doesn't like me? I'm like, Bill Burr finds me funny.
Taking you back to your actual live performance, what you do, I love how the special kind of mimics like a rock concert.
Yes.
And was that sort of like an idea that you had?
Yes. Yeah. That was my big thing because I've been like a rocker since I was, 14, 15 years old. Like, I grew up on like my dad listened to grunge music. So I grew up to like Alice in Chains and SDP.
Yeah.
So that's all I listened to as a kid growing up.
Right.
And so all I did as soon as I was allowed to go to concerts, I went to concerts like every single weekend. And I'm like, I feel like my energy on stage is so like big that I felt like I want people to feel like they're at a live rock concert. And the venue we did, the Paradise Rock Club in Boston, I didn't want to do like a normal theater because I think the way my comedy is, and I don't want to do any spoilers, but there might be some crowd surfing at the end. And I got that in my head at an early stage. There's some stunt work. And I really wanted to end my set by crowd surfing. So I was like, what better way to do it than to do it at an actual rock club.
Right now, I feel like comedians are like the rock stars of this current era right now. But like, do you see there being a similarity between going to a show, going to a live show, and going to like a music concert and going to like a comedy show? Like, do you see like parallels in any way?
I guess for sure, but I'm like, I think it's that saying that every comic wants to be a rock star. And I feel like, I have a mullet.
Yeah.
I feel like people need to experience more live stuff because it's hard. You're not going to watch like a live show on your phone and go, oh, I don't need to go see that band live. But I feel like a lot of people see comedians on like TikTok and stuff. They're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, no, you got to go. You got to go be in the moment, feel, because especially so many comics do crowd work now and it's like such an organic experience and you're actually seeing a live show. Like you're not going to watch, like back in the 80s, you wouldn't have seen Van Halen on a news conference and been like, no, I don't need to see him live. It's like,
Right.
so you simply must go see them live.
It's the whole point.
Yeah, it's the whole point. So I think there's a parallel. I think just being present and actually getting off your phones and going to see something and experience a moment instead of just sitting on your ass and scrolling. Can I say ass? I already said. If you're a fan, don't watch my special with your family. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, the title should give it away. I mean, Filth Queen.
People come with their kids to my shows.
Really?
I've had people bring like 14, 15-year-old kids.
wrong with that?
I don't know. Don't bring your children to my shows. It's really not acceptable.
Don't do it.
Unless you hate your kids. If you really hate your kids and
Then
you want to
do
teach
do
them, then do it. Especially if you want to teach them like about the birds and the bees, I guess, in a way, and you don't want to explain that to them. Because I have a question. I ask guys in the crowd if they know what a labia is. And I'm not joking. I'd say 9 out of every 10 men have no idea. And I'm asking all ages. They have no clue what a labia is. They're like, this part? I'm like, what's this part? That's like, they don't know. Do you know what a labia is?
I do, but we'll skip that.
We'll skip that. The LA Times doesn't like this kind of stuff. It's not the labia Times.
But I do appreciate the level of filth that you come with in this special. Not only, in terms of just, subject matter and stuff, but also just the energy. And I think, again, anyone who's seen you knows this. Yeah. But again, the whole thing about a special is you're introducing yourself to like a new group of people.
To a new group of people. And I do want to say all my filthy stories are real. Like nothing I say in my specials made up. Like I know all comics make up stories, whatever. I don't think I could have made up half that stuff. It's bizarre. Like I didn't want to be choked in a basement. I don't want to be hung from a sex swing. Like there's all these like things that have happened to me that I'm like, I just happen to lead a filthy life. I don't want to. I would not like to be like this. I would like a nice normal date with a man where he takes me home, he doesn't kill his dog and I. Like I don't want these things to happen to me, but they simply do. So I hope that the special makes people see that maybe their life isn't as horrendous as mine and makes them feel like better and more, a little more confident about themselves and being more open, especially like the farting stuff. I'm not sure if like you watch that part where like a lot of women don't fart in front of their partners and it's bizarre behavior to me.
Who are these people?
I don't know. People who don't live their lives. My stomach would hurt all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I might fart now. I won't. I'll hold it in now because we just met. But normally I would be farting.
Hopefully by the end of this interview you feel comfortable. Rip Lauren.
Yeah.
But also, again, going back to just the presence on stage that kind of embodies the stories that you're talking about. Because you're like very over the top. To the extent where it's like, I grew up a wrestling fan. I'm like, I see it. And I don't know if you did, but it just comes across as like, you have like this character that I think could go be, a killer in the ring.
I want to be in a wrestling ring so badly.
WWE, like.
I don't know how I haven't. I look and sound like a wrestler already. And my entrance alone. You better believe it is. Yeah, I watched a little bit growing up. I wasn't like a massive wrestling fan, but I watched like the intros and stuff. The wrestling itself, I was like whatever, but like seeing them come in and like the crazy storylines like that, I got really into.
Yeah, the one-liners, the tone, like the energy,
getting the crowd like all on your side,
like
getting them not on your side. Like I love the bad guys. I'm like, oh, I'd be a bad guy. Of course, I'd be a bad guy.
Yeah,
crazy.
The heel is what they.
The heel. I'd be ripping everybody in half.
Yeah,
just getting choke slammed. I'd love it.
And the Filth Queen romper, like,
I mean,
perfect.
This is all. Is WWE listening to this? I mean, please cast me. What the heck?
And I think that it's so important too when you talk about not only just the energy and everything, but also like what that helps. I think in terms of visibility for like female comics as well. I think that you're probably one of the first people in this modern era or whatever you want to say it to kind of like really like be out there like that. But like, I don't know, how do you feel like what you do sort of gives more like comfortability to like just being able to not just be a great female comic, but a comic who's female, who is like just out there, like, giving it, scaring the crap out of anyone.
Yeah. Well, I think there are a lot of us. Maybe not. You haven't seen a lot of them. I don't know if you know Jordan Jensen. She's incredible. She's out there. She's giving it to people too. There's so many, but I feel like there's so many women that are like me, and they just don't have the platform to openly talk about this. So like in like my mean greet lines, it's all women being like, I think these things, I want to say these things, but it's like either they've lived a sheltered life and they don't feel comfortable, or they're surrounding themselves with people who don't like when people talk like that. But I just hope that this gives people a voice to realize that they can be themselves and talk openly about all the stuff, like any body stuff. Like it's all stuff that we all do. It's not like nothing I say is like some weird, repulsive thing. It's like something gross we've all done.
Right.
We've all had a bad sex story. We've all like, I don't know, embarrassed ourselves. We've all had really bad one night stands. It's giving a voice to not even women too, like men who maybe feel sheltered and feel like they can't be their full self.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what also is the point, is like, it shouldn't be like, oh, like I'm helping women feel this way, and like everyone together can relate.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get. Everyone can relate to just being gross, because everybody is gross.
Everybody is gross.
Everyone's gross. You're at home right now doing something weird. You're picking your nose, you're eating it. Your search history, all the people who come at me the most online, they all have like a Bible quote in their like bio. And I'm like, buddy, your search history is the scariest thing out there.
What has it been like developing in the LA scene right now? Because I think that's another thing that we try to focus on, just talking about what's going on out there in the club scene, but also just outside of it too. Like, just as far as like LA comedy goes, like how would you evaluate the scene right now?
I think the LA scene right now is amazing. All the main clubs, the bookers are women, and it's very nice to see that, because they're much more inclusive with a lot more people. And the lineups are way more diverse. You're seeing a lot of new people who kind of came out of nowhere that are really funny, that have been doing for a long time, but now getting the opportunity to be on these bigger stages. And I don't know if it's because I'm at a higher level, but it's just the community feels much more inspiring and much more supportive.
Yeah.
I feel like when I first moved here years ago, like 11 years ago, it was a bit more like I'd go to the comedy store and it felt like, people didn't want me there and they were annoyed that I was there. They knew it was. But now I feel like even when newer comics come, everyone is so much more supportive and they want to meet people, and it just feels more like a community. I don't know when that happened, but it definitely feels like that right now, which is awesome. And there's like, it's like every scene, there's so many little areas. Like I started out here in the alt scene, which is like, I don't think might be in a bit of a downswing right now because like some of the bigger shows are not happening, but I think it'll swing back up again. But right now I think the clubs are like, they're doing the right thing. It feels good. And also like the bigger comics, like I ran into David Spade today, super nice, met him a couple times. Like they all like act normal. No one's acting like they're like some big shit when they can't talk to you. Like everyone acts like they're in the same level when they're in that room.
That's good.
Which is very nice. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and like your experience speaks to.
I'm sure there's a couple that aren't like that. Yeah. But the majority, I would say the majority of comics are.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, people willing to help others. It's also a big part of how the scene grows. So.
And the scene grows by also like starting your own shows. Like whenever anybody asks me what to do, like I moved here from Toronto. I didn't know anybody. I started my own show. Was it on Skid Row? Yeah. Did I realize it was on Skid Row? No, not until rats would literally run across my feet. But don't do that. But I feel like if you're a newer comic and you want to start something, there's so many cool bars and like weird little backstages and stuff. You can just like start your own show and get in that way. That's an easier way to get in by
totally.
Yeah.
And like what's touring been like now that you're going across the country and all of the and stuff? Yeah.
Touring's crazy. Touring is because it's a lot of work. Everyone's still, I guess right now too, people aren't really going to live shows as much. So ticket sales have been a little down, and then people get mad like, coming back to Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm like, 4 of you were there. No, I'm not coming back to Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't know what to tell you. Or when you like, this is my biggest thing. If you're listening, if you like a comedian, right now, go to their website and check when they're coming to your city. You do this with bands. Yeah. I already mapped out what bands I'm seeing for the rest of the year. I go on their website, I find the tickets. For some reason, that doesn't happen with comics. It's so insane the amount of people that don't check our tour schedules and come support us the way you would support a band. Because it's the same thing. You're also going to see new stuff. Like, you see bands, they're playing the hits. Comics are playing the hits. You're also seeing like live interactions and like new bits they're working on. And stuff that you're never going to see on Instagram.
Yeah. And then, you know, you see the stuff that makes it onto the special,
Yeah.
kind of like that early stage.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I was there when that like happened, or the first time she tried that joke, and like,
Right.
it's a cool, you know, it's a cool thing to be part of.
Well, you know, thanks for putting up with all these, like, you know, lazy ass people.
Just simply support live comedy more. That's all there is.
Yeah, for sure.
I think people get stuck in the whole just watching it online, thinking that's. I mean, please do watch my special, Filth Queen on Netflix, but
Yeah.
also come see comics live. It's like
Right.
such a better experience.
Was there a point in the special that you feel like you really nailed? Like, because I know these like multiple tapings and stuff usually, but like, was there a bit that you feel like you worked on a lot that you like really pulled off that you were like really happy about?
Probably the second show, immediately the energy. Like I went out and I did a little bit of crowd work off the top, and like the way they were reacting to that, I was like, oh, I got them.
Yeah.
And then when I do like the fart stuff, when people like want to answer me for that,
Yeah.
when people are excited to like do, when I ask a question, they're like into it, then I was like, oh, I got them. I got
Right.
them right where I want them. But I only did 2 tapings in the same night.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a 7 and a 9, and I kept it in one night to keep it.
Yeah. Keep the energy.
Keep an energy, and like my makeup was all in my head, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a lazy eye tomorrow or something. What if I get Bell's palsy overnight? I don't know. You don't even know what can happen.
Tomorrow's not promised.
Tomorrow's not promising. You got to keep whatever's happening. And then whatever jokes I like flubbed in the first show, I like could just fix it in the second show.
In terms of just being able to harness crowd energy and kind of like ride that energy, like what does it feel like when you're actually in the moment crushing?
I mean, if it's a high that I can't really explain. Like it's when you feel the whole crowd on your side, it's like that's what you try to chase. It's like, I guess that's what drug addicts do. But I'm like, you want to feel that, like it's hard to explain the exact feeling, but it's just this energy that you don't feel like you're unstoppable, but you feel like you're like, it's a weird feeling to have like everyone on board. But then it's when you bomb, I can't explain, because I like a lot of comments are like, I haven't bombed in years. I bomb all the time. I bombed 2 weeks ago, and guess what? I cried the whole drive home. I don't take bombing well. It was a Laugh Factory, actually. If you were there, you would saw that show, filled to the brim, not one laugh. I don't know what happened. It was a Persian crowd. They really hated me. But they it was really, you know, that low. I can't recommend that to anybody. Like that feeling of like completely bombing. It resets you in a way that you're like, huh, I ain't shit. And then I know some comics don't really care about it, but I like really take it to heart. And I sit with it for like weeks.
Really?
Oh yeah. And I'm like, something happened. I'm like, I shouldn't go from like, you know, I shouldn't have a whole crowd hate me. Something happened. I did something. If everybody hates me as a whole, something happened. If like one guy hates me because I yelled at him, that makes sense. But if I walk on stage and everybody hates me, I'm like, I did something wrong. I came up too hot. I came on a little too aggressive or something. Something happened there. And then I really reevaluate that and then go through it.
Yeah, comedy crowds are weird. Sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get, and you can't.
Every night.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. It's very bizarre. I had a guy. I had literally was at the OR the night, the original room in the Comedy Store, and I had the whole crowd. I was like killing, and I looked over, and this one man hated me so bad, and I tried to ignore it because I'm like, you don't want to focus on that one person, but
Right.
you see him like staring like this. So I said something. I'm like, oh, what's with you? He goes, don't, and I was like, oh, hot, and everybody in the crowd went, ooh, like everybody felt what I felt, and I was just like, oh no. And I'm like, at that point, I'm not gonna like grill the guy because he clearly is uncomfortable and doesn't like me.
Yeah.
But I just felt the whole room kind of go, huh. And then I'm like, well, I gotta make it funny again because I can't walk off stage knowing this guy hates me and everyone feels weird now.
Right.
So I had to like seamlessly get out of that and like go make fun of somebody else. But it was really, yeah, sometimes. But when you do get the crowd, when you get that feeling, like it is pretty incredible to have the whole crowd at your side.
And then I guess off the traditional comedy stage, you've been all over the place, whether it's acting and also doing award shows. You did the AVN
I
Awards.
hosted the AVN Awards, yes.
How did that come about?
My buddy was actually one of the writers, and he like every year they asked a different comedian, and he just put my name forward, and that was it. I got it, and it was. I will say that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever done.
Yeah.
The porn industry, no matter what you think about it, those people are so genuinely nice, and they were so supportive. Like every award, people were getting up and clapping, and like one of the girls I hosted with, her parents were there.
Oh, really?
Like these Midwestern parents were just like so happy her daughter was there, and like you're seeing stuff on screen.
Yeah.
You're seeing like the clips. They're showing you what she's nominated for. You're seeing bare stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh my God, great show. And what a great award show." And I was like, "What the heck?" It was really nice to see.
Yeah.
Like parents being that supportive. And it was I got flashed a lot. Never had that happened before.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. People were flashing up here and down there. I got double flashed. It was,
Dang.
I was
That
like,
means you're doing a good job.
they liked it. Yeah, I guess what does that would mean. I hope so.
And then that turned into, you just did a shoot with Hustler, right?
I'm doing it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yes, not full.
Okay.
Well, it's in.
Okay.
That's in. These are in. It'll
All
be sassy, but it's not going to be. I'm not showing
Yeah.
lips.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey.
no, I know you think hustler, you think my labia is coming out. No. It's still going to be civilized. I may talk about what's going on down there a lot, but
Yeah.
we will not be showing it.
Was it?
Sorry, boys.
You just said, I'm just gonna do this, and like, what was the kind of the push for you that was like, okay, I want to do it?
I feel like my comedy like works with that because I am so open and free about my sexuality. So I think it just suits.
Makes sense.
Yeah, my personality just suits that. Minus seeing nudity, but it's like
Right.
I'm explaining in detail what it looks like down there. So you can use your imagination while you're looking at the tasteful photos of me.
There's a whole new audience that's going to be discovering you through the Filth Queen.
Yes.
And what is it that you hope that people take away from it at the end? After they.
I guess I hope that people feel that they aren't alone in their like weird, gross lives, and that they can be a bit more open and be a bit more like free about their body. And because I know I do have a lot of the fart thing, especially a lot of women come up to me after shows and will say I haven't farted in years, or like will DM me like months later and be like, I finally farted for my husband and our relationship's so much better. I'm like, that's crazy. But like, I just hope that it makes people feel more comfortable
Right.
with themselves.